Welcome back to my channel. This is Dave Lowe from Get Some Colour in Your Life. This video is going to be another sort of simple painting. It's something that I made up, so there's no reference involved in this painting at all. And the more I do these sort of loose, sort of free paintings, the more I enjoy them. I quite like just sort of seeing what I want to paint and just see what sort of develops. It really is quite liberating not to have any sort of plans. I think it's good to start off with a little bit of a plan, but then as you paint, just decide there and then what you think the painting needs. So I've done, I've made my setup so you can see my palette. Quite clever really, but I never thought of this before. Rather than not showing the palette, I've just popped my palette on top of it's a sort of a tray, like a fishing box tray, with my other paint tubes in. So I just popped it on there so you can see the colour mixing as well while I do this painting for some of the painting anyway. And I'm starting with this nice brown. I don't know what colour exactly it is, but it's quite a nice earthy colour. And this painting I wanted a little bit of sort of cliff or some sort of rocks. I suppose it would be a cliff, but with rocks coming down on the right hand side. And so that's what I'm doing here, just adding the tones and just getting some nice darks there. And then I will be also using this palette knife, quite nice to scrape out some textures, gives you some separation for the rocks, some of the light areas, and then obviously I like to go in with the darks underneath where the scrapes are. So if you are new to my channel, then please do give me a thumbs up, let me know what you think. Please consider subscribing. I do upload a new video each and every week. This week you're lucky because I'm off for the rest of the week. Well, until Sunday, the week's gone now. But because I'm off, I just thought I'd do an extra video, so I might as well. And so I did this one Friday night. So just wanted to enjoy painting really. And I'm using my mister bottle now, my spray. You can see quite wet using the hake brush. You get plenty of pigment, plenty of water in the brush. And now I'm just sprinkling in some salt in the foreground of this painting, and that'll give me some nice textures, textures that will give me something really interesting. I'll show you what that does if you've not tried it. You can see gives this nice, almost like you could use it as flowers, frost, that sort of thing. It gives a nice just a really nice pattern, really nice texture. And the salt that I use is just normal table salt, salt that you would have in the cupboard for cooking. Or you can also use rock salt if you've got any of that. It's just bigger particles, so like crystals. So you'll have bigger sort of textures. And this scene I wanted to pop in a little bridge in the distance. So this is way far off in the background, but I thought it'd be a nice little feature. And then just add in a little bit of detail. So this is the first time I've used my pencil in this painting. I just wanted to outline the bridge and have some bricks, just little bits of detail. And I will be going in with some ink pen as well. So you've seen me scraping rocks and things like that. I will be doing that later on in this video. But it's also nice to scrape some branches and tree trunks. You can see the effect that it's had on these tree trunks. It's almost instantly turned these trees into silver birches, which are my favourite trees, so I'm quite happy with the results that I've got from that. You could call it a happy accident. These things happen in watercolour, so I'm quite happy with that accident. It certainly wasn't intended. Certainly I wanted to scrape out some clean marks, so it'd be almost a white trunks, but it's left behind some sort of, I don't know, they call them ringlets, or you know, the just a bit of texture on the sides of the white, so it's just created some nice silver birches. And I do like the way the salt has left the pattern along the floor of this landscape. So you could really turn that into flowers, anything you want really. And I'm happy to just leave it the way it looks. It might not be anything particular, but it's definitely a nice, interesting part of the painting. So I'm just happy to leave it like that. As I said, I will be scraping some rocks in this painting, so I'll probably pop a couple of rocks down on that side as well. But I'm looking at mostly the left hand side, and I'm thinking of adding a river to this one, possibly even a waterfall. I think it's just the painting just it's looking that way. So as I'm painting, I'm getting more ideas coming to me, and I do have regular breaks as well, which I did mention in my last video. It's quite important if you just sort of take a breather, maybe have a drink, watch 5-10 minutes of TV, let your painting dry so far, and then when you go back to it, you can have new ideas. Things might come to you that really wasn't there before, and so it's nice to have these almost fresh eyes when you look at your painting. And sometimes it can happen sort of the day after you come down and have a look at the painting you spent time on the day before, and when you look at it you think, what a mess. And there might be something that you really want to fix, or you might be surprised. You know, sometimes I'm not happy with a painting, and then the next day you look and you think it's not so bad. So it really is a funny thing. I think sometimes you can't see the wood for the trees, as the saying goes. As you're painting, you're consumed with the painting itself, that you don't really, you need sort of like an outside view. So I'm just popping in the waterfall now. You can see, just adding some darks, just little lines, and then smudging that so you get softer lines, and that just creates a nice water falling down. And then just a little bit of the softer tones for the water coming down the river. So quite nice to do these. I've only ever painted a couple of waterfalls before. It's something quite new, but I do enjoy doing it actually. It's quite simple to do, I suppose, if you know how to do it. But it's just literally popping down some lines, softening them, just so and you leave plenty of white on the paper, so that's your waterfall. So that's pretty much it. If you got that concept, then I'm sure you can do paint a waterfall in your next landscape painting. So I'm adding some darks now to the left hand side, and this is where I'm gonna pop in my rocks. So you'll see I'll grab the palette knife and just scrape out some of those highlights, and that gives me nice looking rocks by the river. And then maybe a couple on this side, not too many. There's a lot more going on the right hand side, so I don't want too much detail. But I do like the trees that I've popped in on that side. You may have seen that I did with the fine liner, the liner brush, I painted the dark, and then just to the side of that I just added some sort of olive green and yellow ochre, mixed that together, and then just had that mix to the right hand side. So the light would be coming from the right hand side, and so I'm keeping that as the lightest part of the tree. So you got this nice highlight, and then I'll be using pen as well. So I don't know whether this is called a mixed media because I'm using ink. I'm using well, ink as well. So maybe line and wash, or just a bit of ink and wash. But I was thinking about using some coloured pencils, but I don't think I need to. Maybe some white gouache. Maybe some white gouache I could have used. That would have been quite nice for some highlights. But I'm quite happy with the way things are going so far. I do love it when it comes to this sort of later stages of the painting process. I know a lot of times you go through this, what I would call the ugly stage, where you almost want to give up. You want to sort of just abandon your painting. I know it's happened to me many times. But sometimes when you do carry on, you just keep working at it. It just starts beginning to look like a painting. It looks like what it is you want to paint. And then it really does pay off. Just to be a bit patient and just carry on. Don't give up too soon. It's easier said than done, but many a times I've nearly stopped and just given up. But when you do carry on, that's when the sort of magic happens. And to be honest, a lot of paintings, in fact most of my paintings, do go through that ugly stage. So you just got to keep going and figure out a way to at least make something interesting in your painting. If not everything, then focus on one thing that you can make work. And then you can always keep that painting as a reference and come back to it. And maybe even the next day you can look at it and you can always fix it. So it's never wasted. All your paintings, even the ones that you're not so happy with, can come in handy if you if you like to keep your paintings, then you can always go back and look on them and just see where you've improved as well. So I've added some rocks now, and I quite like the way the scene is looking. Just scraping a couple more rocks here and there. It really is one of my favourite techniques. If you've not tried scraping highlights or scraping rocks, then I do suggest you have a go. It really is quite easy to do as well. And usually I do use a little piece of a credit card, if you've seen in a lot of my other videos, but I've just recently started using the palette knife. It gives a broader scrape, so you can get bigger rocks and bigger areas of highlights. So I do enjoy doing that, and it really does make it just does make your landscapes pop, especially the foreground. If you put rocks in the foreground, it really does make a difference. So for the river, I'm just adding a little bit of darker tones. So where the light isn't reflecting, you got the darker tones, and it just gives you the impression of moving water as well. So you leave the white of the paper, and there's your sort of bubbles and froth of the river coming down. So you do need the darks as well to accentuate those. So anyway, this is actually hot press paper. I do have a little bit, I think I've got about 5 or 6 sheets of hot press paper left, and it is a little bit better than using the Bockingford pad, which I've been using. I find watercolour paper in the pads a little bit more smoother than if you get single sheets. And so I'm glad I found these bunch of sheets that I had. Not sure, I think it might be Jackson's hot press paper. Either that or it's ash, I'm not sure. I don't think it's ash. But it is quite nice to use the sheets. It's a little bit more texture on, and I find one side of the paper does have a little bit more texture than the other. So I think that's the front or the top side, not sure. But I think just the way it's made, it's got a little bit of, a tiny bit of grain to it. But let me know what you think. I'd be interested to hear your thoughts on this painting. A little bit different, this one. There's quite a lot to take in. It's quite, I'd say, advanced in watercolor. If you're a complete beginner, then maybe not try this one, or just give it a go. But if you have more experience, then this is definitely something that you could possibly try. If you have confidence with watercolor, why not give this one a go? So do leave me a comment, let me know what you think. If you do like this video, then please give me a thumbs up. I really appreciate that. It really does help my channel to grow and just to get out to more people. And it does help me to create more videos like this one. So just having a closer look, you can see, first of all, the scrapings for the bark, the trees. I really do like that. It's given a really nice silver birch effect. And then you got the nice little waterfall. Maybe I could have done that a little bit better. But you got the texture in the foreground where the salt has been. And it almost looks like almost an abstract sort of flowers. Some sort of blue flowers, which is quite nice. I really like that colour in the bottom of the trees. But there you go. I really do hope you like this one. Please do give me a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed, then please subscribe to my channel. Hit the notification bell so you can be notified each and every time I upload another video. But that's it for this week. I'll upload another one scheduled for Monday. Sorry about the camera. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.